Dear brothers and sisters, I'm happy. Exactly 1 month back, I was here on 13th February, and again after 1 month, 13th March, I'm here to celebrate this Holy Eucharist. So last time when I came, I asked one question. So I will ask again. Let me see if you remember or not. As you know, from today onwards, we have a catechism started in our parish. So first question in the catechism, what is the purpose of man? Who remembers? Please tell. Okay. Yes, please. Okay. To know Him, to love Him, to serve Him, and to be with Him in where? Heaven. And today, in the second reading, we heard from the letter to the Philippines, chapter 3, verses 20, it is said, we are the citizens of heaven. We are in this world for a time. We are journeying people, but our citizenship, our place is in heaven. And to enter in the heaven, this is our passport, Holy Bible. Through Bible and living what Jesus said, we reach heaven. So today's Mass, I want to ask one more question. Where is this Philippines? Anybody? Where is this Philippines? Southeast Asia. Okay. Any other answers? Okay. Most of the times we think Philippines with Philippines. There is a difference between Philippines and Philippines. Southeast Asia, we have Philippines, not Philippines. Maybe a few years back also I used to think, why did St. Paul went to Philippines? Why he didn't come to India? He has to go through India only, right? To go to Southeast Asia. In the Bible at the end you will have the maps where St. Paul journeyed. Most of the times he is traveling within the Europe only. Maybe Asia Minor and Europe. So surely St. Paul never came to Asia in the sense East Asia, India and maybe China. So Philippines should be somewhere within the Europe. I have already given the clue. So now you guess, where is this Philippines? At least close by. Any other country close to that place you can tell. Any guess? Okay, I will give you a clue. Where is this Alexander is coming from? Alexander the Great. Greece. Yes. So Philippines is in the Greece. And Bible says in first book of Maccabees, it starts like this. The history begins when Alexander the Great, son of Philip of Macedonia, marched from Macedonia and it's so on, how he conquered the whole world. So Bible says in first Maccabees, starting verses, it says, Alexander is the son of Philip of Macedonia. And on his name, that city was renamed as Philippi. So after few years, when Romans started conquering the whole world, they created this Philippines as a second Rome. When Rome started conquering the whole Europe, they gave citizenship to the city of Philippi. So these Philippi people are very proud that they belong to Rome. That's why St. Paul stresses when he writes to this faithful in Philippi, don't be proud that you are citizens of Rome, but you are more precious than that. You are citizens of heaven. As we are in this St. Peter's Church, we know St. Peter died and buried in Rome. He is the apostle of Rome. And we have another apostle for Rome. He is called Philip Neri. And this Saint Philip Neri has a great passion to come to India as a missionary. But later when God convinced him that his mission is in the Rome, he continued to do lot of good in Rome city. And there is a famous phrase of this Saint Philip Neri, who is the second apostle of Rome. He always says, I prefer paradise. So I prefer heaven, not the world and the desires of the world. St. Paul writes in second reading today, he says, some people live their life that the world is final destination. He also says they are proud of what they should be ashamed of, and they think only the things that belong to this world. But he invites us, along with the community in Philippi, that we should believe and prepare ourselves to go to our home in heaven. So there is a famous movie about the life of Saint Philip Neri. It is called Preferisco Paradiso. If you haven't seen, it is available in YouTube also. You can search and watch Philip Neri, you can type and you will get. So there is a famous song, it's a title song of that movie. It says, Paradise I Prefer. So I felt that today I should teach that song to you. Are you ready to learn? Simple song. Okay, song goes like this. Preferisco paradiso. Okay, we will sing that in English. I prefer paradiso. Shall we? I prefer paradiso. Once again. I prefer paradiso. 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 I prefer paradiso. Once again. Paradiso. Paradiso. I prefer paradiso. Now I will stop. I want to listen whether you are singing or not. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Paradiso, paradiso. I prefer paradiso. Little more louder. Paradiso, paradiso. I prefer paradiso. Okay, are we really preferring paradise, heaven, or we want to limit ourselves to this world? As St. Paul says, God can transform our human bodies to the glorious body, as we heard in the gospel. Today in the gospel, we saw how Jesus was transformed in front of Peter, James, and John. His body, his clothes transformed, radiant, transfiguration. And St. Paul says in the second reading, the last verse in the 3rd chapter, 21, he says, He will change our weak mortal bodies and make them like His glorious body. We also will transform in the presence of God if we prefer heaven. Let us believe that God has prepared a place and we have to reach heaven. And Jesus has promised, I am going to prepare a place for you in heaven. John chapter 14. Let us believe like Abraham. In the first reading, we heard from Genesis chapter 15. Let us have that faith and believe that God prepared a place for us in heaven. But unless we make a choice, like this Philip Neri, I prefer heaven, I prefer paradise, to go there. Let us ask God's grace in this Eucharist that we prefer heaven and live a holy life. As we profess our faith, really believe that I believe in the resurrection and eternal life. Please stand up and profess our faith.